Hey guys, so I've been wanting to start making TBR videos for the last few months, but I've never actually gotten around to it. So this is my first TBR for September. So basically this is a list of all the books that I want to read in September this year, or before the end of September. If you don't know what TBR stands for, it stands for To Be Read, so kind of self-explanatory. It's the books I'm going to read before the end of this month. Okay, so the first three books on my September TBR are the books that I'm already currently reading. So I started reading them either months ago or in August. By months ago, I think you already know which book I'm going to talk about. Okay, so the first book on my that I'm currently reading is a book that I've been reading for months, but I finally picked it up again. It's Charliiey Story by Stephen King. I'm a fair way through it. There's my bookmark, and that's the end of the book. There we go. That's how much from the end I am. So I'm not that far away. But I've been getting in and out of reading slumps with this book. It's really interesting. It does have a nice plot, but it gets into some chapters where there's not really a lot going on. And so I get a bit bored with it, and then I put it down and I don't really want to read it anymore. And then I pick it up again and and I realise that the plot's actually quite interesting. And I don't know. I am getting through it slowly. I think according to Goodreads, I think I'm 77% of the way through it. So I should finish it soon. Okay, so the next book on my TBR is The Manifesto on How to Be Interesting by Holly Vaughan. This book is amazing, not only because it's got red pages, red edge pages, but I relate to the main character Bree so much. Now, I'm not a rich kid rebelling against my rich background, but Bree struggles with self-harm and she struggles with dealing with popular kids at school. I do that because nobody's popular, they just need they need a reality check, nobody's popular. So she deals with these girls at school, and boys to be fair, and she's also a wannabe author, and she's written 2 books and been unpublished and rejected by every publisher in the UK, which is where this book is set, which I quite like because I understand the school system. So it says year 12 and I'm like, oh my god, I know what that is. Whereas when I read a book that's set in America, it says 8th grade and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I see it in people's YouTube videos where they go, oh, I was in 5th grade, and I'm like, what is that? How old were you? Just tell me how old you were. So this is a lot easier if you're from the UK, because you'll understand the schooling system. She's a writer and she's been unpublished by every publisher in the UK. So she's written a book, and obviously I'm not going to tell you what that book was about, but she's written a book and it was unpublished. So she was told that she needs to become more interesting, have a more interesting life, and then her writing will follow and be more interesting. So in order to do that, she becomes popular, actually takes advantage of her rich heritage and her background and the fact that she's got loads of money, becomes popular, becomes really pretty. Not that she wasn't really pretty anyway, it was just she tried to be as unattractive as possible, but she takes advantage of it all to try and be more interesting, all for the sake of her writing, not because she wants any of this stuff, but it's a really good book about friendship, and she's sacrificing her best friend just to be more interesting. So I really like it. I'm just over halfway through, so obviously I don't know where it's going to go. I'm quite interested to find out. Okay, so the final book on my TBR that I'm currently reading is this ginormous thing. It's called Under the Dome by Stephen King. Now this thing is massive, so I'm going to try and finish this by the end of September, but there's no promises there. I think my aim for this one is to get at least halfway through it by the time we get to the end of September. I'm currently 177 pages in. So in an 800 page book, I'd say I'm a quarter of the way in. So that's good. I'm not completely failing at it. But Stephen King does write some massive books. I mean, I've got the stamp on the bookshelf up there, I don't know if you can see. Ooh. Where you can see that green candle there. It's on the end there, where my finger is, you can't see it, but it's ginormous. It's like over 1,000 pages long. My friend started reading it, he's only on page 86, and I was like, jeez. I got it for Christmas last year, and I've been putting off reading it because it's such a big book, and I think it's my aim for my Christmas holidays this year is to read The Stand by Stephen King. That will be in my December TBR. Obviously I don't have much to say about Under the Dome yet because I've only just started reading it, but I'm going to try my best to get as far as I can through it before the end of September, but I'll keep you posted on that. So the next book on my TBR is the sequel to Incarnate. It's called Asunder by Jodi Meadows. This is the sequel in the New Souls trilogy, followed by Infinite. So I really loved Incarnate. I plan to do a full review of that on this channel in the near future, so look out for that. But I loved the plot so much, I loved the characters, I love how it ties so many different genres together, so I'm really excited to read this and to see where the plot is going to go. So yeah, I've heard so many good reviews of this trilogy that I can't wait to finish reading it. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so the final book on my TBR is called Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This is the first in the trilogy, and I really am excited to read this because I've heard so many good reviews of this trilogy, and obviously the other ones are called Lola and the Boy Next Door and Isla and the Happily Ever After. I was so excited when I picked up this trilogy. Yeah, I do have the other two over. You can see the orange and green one down there. Not that one, that's Stephen King there. So you can see them. So I'm really excited to read this. I really hope I get around to it. What I plan to do is finish the manifesto on How to Be Interesting and hopefully finish Lizzie's story and then move on to the rest while I'm still reading Under the Dome. And like I said, there might not be a completed Under the Dome by the end of my TBR. So that was my September TBR. Hopefully I'll get through all those books, if not most of them, in the next month. If you'd like to see me do more TBR videos, then you can like this video and give me a comment below, and I'll do more of these in the future. Obviously I've been meaning to start them for a while, but I've never gotten around to it, or by the time I've finished it, we're halfway through the month, so there's no point really, because I've never got through the books I've mentioned. I do plan to try and get through these, and then obviously I can make what's the other one called? The September wrap up, where I can tell you about how far I got with them, and whether or not I finished them. So whatever I don't finish in this month will literally just move over to my October TBR. Obviously in the next few months my TBR is going to go down in the amount of books that I start reading, because at the end of September I go back to uni, so my textbook reading will go up and my own home reading will go down. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, like it and you leave me a comment for more TBR videos, and if you want to see more from me, you can subscribe to my channel and I'll post more videos in the future. Thank you for watching. Bye. But yeah, I forgot where I was going. I went off on a tangent. She also she's a writer. Found my tangent. So anyway, I'm rambling again. So